Wednesday? Wednesday. For a second I was going to say Happy Tuesday. We did that yesterday. Good morning. Welcome back to our regularly scheduled location for programming. Lincoln is right there. Let's see if he decides to move the camera today. Just had to deal with a little ant infestation. This summer rain weather in Hong Kong is, it's so gross, it's so sticky. It's not the best time to come visit. If you ever do decide to come visit Hong Kong, October, November time, when it starts to cool off a little bit, but before it gets too cold. I find it funny saying that this country gets too cold, but in the winter, it feels colder here than sometimes in the UK. And I only say that because the apartments here are designed to let the heat out, which means in the winter, you're just cold all the time. You don't get that relief of heat like you do in the UK when you go into a pub or when you get home, having that central heating and being able to like take off your layers. Whereas here, you end up sitting in front of a little fan heater or needing fan heaters on, which is a absolute mission and a half on its own. So that's funny. Just like in the UK or over in Europe, they can't stand heat waves because the houses are designed to keep the heat in. So during your hot, hot summers over there, it feels like an oven. Whereas during our hot, hot summers over here, the aircon is very nice on the inside. So yeah, but even that, it's amazing how, structurally, right, things are set up for different. I'm spying ants. It's all right. He can be free. It was so funny. I got back yesterday. Neighbours downstairs are away, and we're putting food out for the cat when she needs it. And there was this massive snail just munching away on her tuna and pellets when we came back yesterday. It was too funny. Those big, big snails. They look hilarious when they eat. They look like cartoons. I was saying I had a hilarious cartoon that I absolutely loved when we were kids was whenever we'd visit friends and family in Australia, it was called Snailsbury Tales. And it was just a cartoon about a town of snails. But I vividly remember that cartoon. I wonder, maybe I need to have a Google of it, see if I can bring back flashbacks of memories as kids sneaking downstairs and watching Snailsbury Tales in the morning before the parents got up. Gosh, I'm still getting used to this new schedule, huh? I feel like I've had to remind myself the same way I remind my fitness clients when they are getting back on the gym floor and when they are starting to get back into a routine. Fitness and movement and everything, it does fuel you, but the first couple of weeks, as you're kind of turning around that gear, I guess, when you've been from, sedentary for a while to moving. It's like suddenly when you take on new load or new schedules or new pressures, like there's a bit of a teething process, right? Where your body is adapting and adjusting, and yes, you're tired and fatigued because you're doing more than you used to. And it is a normal part of the process. And I think again, it's been very interesting to put myself back in this position right now, especially balancing the online and the offline stuff, and always reminding me again just how much these lessons map over onto everything else. And I guess why I keep coming back to the fitness thing as the key for a lot of entrepreneurs and especially solopreneurs is because it really is that Vipassana teaching of being able to experience what's the word? Come on. Experience change in the body. There's a word. I'm missing a word. Anyway, it'll come to me or it won't. But to experience impermanence. There it is. The fact that it's a natural law. Impermanence. Nothing stays permanent. Everything is always changing. Yeah, I'm sorry, bug. Yeah, I got you. Sorry. Everything is constantly changing. The only thing that doesn't change is change itself. No, that's the wrong quote. Anyway, the point of Vipassana and why they tell you to do those long sits and why experiencing those long sits is very interesting is because you get to experience that discomfort within the context of your own body. Sit through it and realize that at the end of the day, either two things are going to happen. Either you're going to move or the time is going to run out. Say for like those determined sits. I remember that first one that we did. It felt like my foot was going to fall off. It was going so numb and so painful. And I just said to myself, as I was becoming aware of what the body was doing, breathing through it, not moving, reminding my brain that I'm okay, I'm safe, I'm sitting down. It's not going anywhere. It feels uncomfortable. It might feel viscerally uncomfortable, but it's not actually going to hurt me in any way. Like I wasn't going to injure myself. I wasn't going to die. I wasn't going to, and to sit through that and to feel the time run out and not move and immediately feel a rush of relief run through the body. Even though I hadn't moved position yet. I mean, at one point I remember focusing on the foot that was going really numb and really painful and almost leaning into the pain. I don't know if that makes sense to any of you guys out there. I'm sure it will to some people. It's like when you're training as well. It's like placing your mind into the muscle and it becoming a very meditative act. But anyway, as I was like putting my mind on it, the sensations moved. Like they moved into a different place. And so it was it's very interesting. I think that was the biggest lesson that I came out of that Vipassana feeling, and is why I recommend movement and fitness, especially if you're feeling stuck or not feeling like yourself or don't know what to do or you're lost. It's like focus on this, focus on the body. Pump the muscles, build something, go through a program, put yourself in discomfort, go through the process of taking care of your body, fueling it, building it, like seeing what happens. My gosh, I'm just starting to notice more and more ants. It's starting to piss me off. I might have to keep this one a bit short and get my spray because I gotta leave the house. It was my husband's camping bag. We brought it in last night to dry off again, and I have a feeling it was riddled with ants. So, yeah, there's a nice big pile sitting over there that I've sprayed, and it's coming up the edges of the doors. Anyway, distraction, come back, focus. Vipassana, context everybody, movement, feeling it for yourself, doing it for yourself. Majority of the people out there do not know how good they are designed to feel. We are operating as in a sluggish mode, in a sluggish sense, in a sluggish vibe, in a sluggish way, and then we wonder why we don't suddenly have these genius ideas and why we can't keep up with things that we're doing. And I reckon that's also where a lot of the forecasting, I wonder if that's where a lot of the forecasting of things being far too difficult that we don't even get started is, because on a day-to-day basis we're usually not putting ourselves through difficult things. Like I know that even when we were doing the High Rocks training, like I suddenly felt like I could conquer anything. Like I was up for anything. I was ready for anything. And I think it's that. It's reminding yourself that as you are, where you are, how stuck are you feeling? How slow are you feeling? How unnimble are you feeling? And again, this is not to say that you need to kill yourself in the gym. Like little bits of movements, little bits of walks, little bits of breaking the patterns, just little bits of starting to do things for yourself. Because it's also very interesting to see how many excuses you can come up with to not do it. And I'm looking at these ladies now, they're in their 40s, they're in their 50s, 60s, and one of my ladies is in her 70s. Her sister is going through potentially another spinal fusion surgery, and this chick is doing shoulder stands in the gym, squatting and lifting weights. I know who I'd rather be at 71. And I think that is always the hardest thing to get your head around, right? It's like the now reps for the future you. And it's always how big can you... Again, it's not necessarily all about delaying gratification, but it's how can you put the steps in from the beginning or in your routine now that mean you don't have to worry about it down the line, and you know that it gets done because you've almost like conquered that part that a lot of people won't. That movement and fueling your body and being able to live your life. Like nobody else is going to do that for you. And if you don't know where you're going or even how to get out of where you are, like what else are your options? Like start with your fitness, start with your training, start small, spend the next 6 months just learning a new hobby or training a new skill or finding a new side quest. I don't know. I think this just all comes back into play with the fact that, it's not one thing. It's never one thing, it's all the things, and it's doing all the things for long enough for then it to suddenly turn into something, right? The bringing nothing into something. It's possible. We all get to do it. And I think that, again, why doing it in the context of your own body and taking care of your food and watching your muscles grow and having people noticeably treat you different, because this is also your walking CV. Like, I see a woman with muscles and I know she has self-love and discipline and commitment and determination to do that and go through that process. I don't need to then doubt that maybe that's what comes through in some of her work. It's written all over the place. Like, you think about, when they started showing some of those pictures of the World Health Organization leaders, those very, very obese looking, very unhealthy looking people. I'm sitting there going, that's okay. Maybe we don't listen to those people. I think that's another thing as well, right? With this whole age of extra information and information overload. Like, we're just absorbing all this shit that our subconscious minds are also, redesigning different little limiting beliefs or thought patterns, or taking something that we saw and then having that set as a new rule, and we're not flushing and clearing and well, I guess I picture it as clearing the cookies or clearing the cache of our minds and our, what we're actually ingesting. Whereas at least by keeping this something that you keep clean, and again, this is not to say that you don't do anything. People, you can have your little vices, you can have your stuff. This is not saying, even the fact that I have to caveat that and feel like I'm about to say, it's not about dieting. Can you see how backwards the society has gotten? That we've gotten that, like, normal foods, normal. I love even the fact that I say normal foods, just whole foods, non-processed foods. How has that become dieting and not normal? And then the bad stuff become yeah. It's all a bit backwards. It's all a bit backwards. All right, now these ants are irritating me. I'm going to do another quick spray before I have to leave the house. Otherwise, I'm going to be thinking about them all day while I'm out. So a short tea with Maja. But your health, man. You got 99 problems until your health is one. And then you only got one. And coming from someone that dealt with 6 years of a chronic injury, I couldn't believe it. 25 years old. I was freelance, earning my own income, la-di-da. Slip disc. Cannot make an income anymore. Yay. Like, this is, I think, where the trap of the passive income stuff has come in, because, they try and separate it from you having to be the linchpin that moves it to make money. And it's like, yes, I understand that. But then there's also another layer of it where it's like scaling is one thing, passive is another thing. And to even get to that point, it's the same with training. It's like to get to the point where a cheat meal doesn't throw you off for 5 days and 6 months in the gym and make you feel like you've put back on a size. Like, just like me eating, well, we're going to have Five Guys tonight, pretty sure I'm bringing that home. Just like me having a big burger. Again, burgers aren't too bad. I mean, bread, pickles, like, anyway. Story for another time. But it's like, one thing won't undo a lot of work when the baseline is the work. And I think that's the different thing that we need to be shifting into. It's like, what's the new baseline? What's the new non-negotiables? What's the new just standard? It's raising the standards. It's just having a better standard for yourself, for your life, for what you tolerate, for what you ingest, for what you put out, for what you listen to, everything that you're putting in and out of this machine. Like, filter it, figure out what's going on, figure out what's coming in, what's going out. What are you actually allowing into your space? What are you allowing into your environment that, is not useful? Start filtering it, start clearing it. You feel a lot lighter. When everything's so heavy, it's hard to find a way out. And again, it feels counterproductive to focus on yourself when you're usually in those spots. But usually that is the only thing that will actually get you out of there faster than anything ever will. It's the quickest way out. It's through your own body and mind. Okay, that's it. I gotta go. I gotta go. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.